Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another day of NGS action. Today we are going to be going into the Nexus division for another match between BoomerGaming and Team Happy Cloud. Now, Team Happy Cloud, I believe, is already eliminated from playoffs. Assuming I remember correctly for Nexus division, it is top 4 that make it. And Team Happy Cloud, unfortunately, are in 9th place and are 9 points behind 4th. So, we'll not be able to catch up there. And BoomerGaming is currently sitting in 2nd place. And in fact, with the amount of maps won, depending how Boogans Forever do this week, it is possible that BoomerGaming will be able to take over that #1 slot with a domination win today, assuming that Boogans Forever lose all of their get dominated in their game later this week as well. So theoretically, it is still possible. We will have to see. But until then, but for today, this game does matter a little bit for BoomerGaming, for Team Happy Cloud. This is just going to be a pride match. I'm kind of enjoying the end of their season. Now we are in the first draft. We're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. And now, I do enjoy watching this map a little bit, especially when I get to see teams able to kind of utilize repeated web weavers, just kind of being able to turn in some of the web weavers, push with them, wait 10 seconds, submit again, and they just keep on going. Just seeing that double push, I don't know why. I have always found it entertaining. But anyway, we are on the new patch, so quite a few changes. I'm still not entirely sure how all of them are going to go. Blaze is dead content. I think that is the main thing. And from what I saw in the NGS chat today, people were looking into it, and the one buff that Blaze was supposed to get alongside all of the talent nerfs, I never actually made it into live. The auto attack bonus damage is not there. So, gonna be interesting to see how this affects the picks. Blaze was always contested over in this division. But we are seeing the first few bans starting to come in. We have the Diablo banned out from the side of Team Happy Cloud. BoomerGaming banned out the Joanna. So just 2 tanks banned so far. Nothing really extreme. I don't think either Joanna or Diablo are really like make or break tanks. I think in the right hands they're very powerful, but they're not something that are really prevent any kind of team comp. Sorry, excuse me. Medivh also going to get banned over on the side of Team Happy Cloud. And just going to wait over for this 4th ban coming out from BoomerGaming. Now, Tomb of the Spider Queen is a pretty interesting map, just because it is quite small. Being able to push and like kind of power your way through in all 3 lanes so that you do have the priority in order to be able to turn in your gems is pretty important. So Death Ball compositions are very powerful here. And the Chromie will be the 2nd ban from BoomerGaming. And Fade immediately locking in the Junkrat. Very annoying to deal with, very powerful in those Death Ball compositions. Able to zone away very well. Able to kind of even get some pickoffs if you have a very good concussive mine placement and the enemy team is not being careful or doesn't see it during the chaos of battle. Very easy to get people out of position and just kind of be able to split apart the team fights. Now Sylvanas and Murden going to be locked in from BoomerGaming. Anduin is still available. We do see Murden paired with Anduin pretty often just for the easy light bomb combo with a dwarf toss, but there is going to be a phase of bans coming out afterwards, so I wouldn't be surprised if Anduin gets either picked or banned here from Team Happy Cloud in this next phase. Still a lot of good heroes available, so could really go either way. As they do lock in the Rhaegar and the Anubarak. Very interesting tank pick coming out from Team Happy Cloud. Very powerful tank, no question about that. Is a little bit better against mages, and the Zeratul ban coming from BoomerGaming. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what the Zeratul's ban was for. Like, don't get me wrong, I know there's a reason for it. I just don't know what that reason is. I'm wondering if someone like Drinking Bird or Crispy play a lot of Zeratul, or if they believe it's very powerful on this map, as we do in fact see the Anduin ban coming out for Team Happy Cloud. Just kind of a very easy combo to have with the Muradin. Anduin's also powerful even aside from that with the Leap of Faith and just very high base healing. So good ban. Now we are going to be waiting on these next 2 picks. We still haven't seen the offlaner locked in from either team. All of them are still available. Leoric is still up, and the Blaze actually does get locked in by iFeed. So iFeed is nerfed, but I have seen that the Blaze has been picked in other divisions. I did cast a game yesterday in D East, and Blaze is still decent, definitely lower numbers overall, but should be in a place where Blaze is actually able to participate and play well. The Uther pick is really what's interesting to me. Lots of frontline, lots of lockdown coming out from the side of BoomerGaming. And Gul'dan and Melthil picked up by Team Happy Cloud. And when you do have such a large frontline, having someone like Melthil that deals % damage and Gul'dan that's just able to keep the distance. Muradin and Blaze, while they are able to engage, it's difficult for them to traverse long distances. It's very difficult for them to be able to get onto the backline unless they have a flank. But if you're a Muradin, you typically don't want to be the one flanking. So overall, I'm really liking this draft. Now the Maiev, this changes things because now all of a sudden the Rhaegar and the Anubarak, you're able to pull them back in. You're able to have the positioning advantage over into them. And that way your frontline doesn't need to get onto their frontline. You can just keep them out of position and burst the front line. They have a lot of damage with the Sylvanas, with the Maiev. Blaze still deals a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, even with the nerfs. So, I think it's pretty even draft, so it's just going to come down to execution. And that's what I like. As we're going into game number 1. Alright, and we are into map number 1. I am kind of curious about the lane assignments. I assume they'll be pretty standard. I assume it's just going to be the Melthil versus the Blaze in the off lane. And then the other 2 are just going to be sitting in as groups of 4. But when you have Maiev or Sylvanas, it is possible that they will kind of split up. Do not a true 1-3-1, but a pseudo 1-3-1, where the Sylvanas goes first, or groups with a team later. And they both will connect, but it's the timing that really changes. But anyway, I digress, as both teams are now grouping into the mid. All 10 members here. Beller is going to get dismounted. J-Shift's able to come in through the outside. Does have the pulse, so that's kind of who we're going to be looking at to make these plays for BoomerGaming. We've seen what J-Shifts can do on this Maiev before, and it's a lot of good playmaking. J-Shifts throws out the shade. Is going to get immediately impaled. Not able to get the pull on anyone. In fact, definitely takes the losing part of that trade. As Crispy and iFeed do walk over the bot side. Jet Propulsion by iFeed. And just look, immediately trading. Stimpack used as well. And Bellers also comes in with a Stormhammer. Just so much damage onto Crispy. Crispy just kind of trying to dodge out a little bit. And the Jet Propulsion, iFeed still going. And in fact, ends up losing the trade, I'd say. Just because of all of those tower shots. Now, a big pullback from J-Shifts, and they're able to get the stun, and Drinking Bird stunned once again, but the concussive mine blows J-Shifts back into the backline, but is able to dash away. First blood going to BoomerGaming. And just like that, we see the power of that concussive mine, but unfortunately just wasn't enough. They had the extra damage that they needed over on the side of BoomerGaming, and they were able to kind of get the pick with a Maiev, and they had so many stuns over top of it. Even with the cleanse, with the Hammer of Justice from the Uther, they were just able to keep them locked in place. And just like that, they were able to get that first blood for themselves. And now Bellers is holding this mid lane as both teams do collect their bruiser camps. J-Shift's gonna be slowly finishing off that one. Gems are pretty even on both sides, 20 to 19. No one has turned in quite yet, so still only gonna be a gem lead in theory. A lot of poke going down onto Bellers. If there's one thing Team Happy Cloud's draft is good at, it is that poke and that harass. They do have the Junkrat grenades, they have Gul'dan. They're throwing as much damage over top as possible. And they're also able to push really well. And J-Shift's coming in. Gonna look to pull Nixels. but Nexus gonna just walk in with that. The chain will not end up pulling backwards. As the jet propulsion does land on Nexus, gonna have to use the bro strike to get out of the way. Bro charge, sorry, but they were able to back out. Nexus very low, but alive, and that's what really matters at the end of the day. And now Crispy going to get caught out a little bit, but it is the Maiev, going to be a little bit safer. Stormhammer does land, jet propulsion over top, and they're bringing 4, so I was saying the Meltho might be a little bit safer, but it is going to be a bit different. The Hammer of Justice is landing over top. They do have the chain connecting, and still another jet propulsion. The original stuns are just back up. Crispy able to deal so much damage. iFeed actually getting low, and will get taken down. Delta and Fade able to come in time to make it a 1-for-1 trade. And the Concussive Blast also brings J-Shifts back to the backline. Impale over top. Gonna try and jump away. Has the chains up, but it doesn't matter. Maiev goes down. And that's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Team Happy Cloud. Able to get the rotation in time. And I gotta say, very well played by Crispy. Crispy was definitely caught out 4-on-1, but bought so much time for the team members to arrive, and also brought iFeed to 100 HP. And in that situation, it goes so far. Now Bellers jumping over top onto Drinking Bird. Drinking Bird just gonna suck the life out of Bellers and will heal up, as the siege camp will get finished off over on the spot side. Now iFeed back in lane. Same with Bellers and J-Shifts. Impale on a 2. Is going to try to pull back Nexus. Nexus is just going to walk in with it as well. And very, very well played over by... Both of these sides are just really showing the aggression, the fight that they want to bring in today. And that's what I love seeing in the NGS. I love seeing teams that are just willing to brawl it out, and Nexus looking for another kill. Not going to land the bro charge. Impale also going to go off to the side. And we have... we did see some gems have been turned in, likely by Dope Monster over on the top side, but all the action is happening bottom here. E-Bagatron's gonna try to get the turn in as well, but neither side is really letting the other turn in the gems. Now J-Shift's able to land the hook on a Drinking Bird, and Drinking Bird, Hammer of Justice over top, and pushed out a little bit too far, and will get taken down for it. Now Nexus also in the lane, but unfortunately, they don't really have enough DPS with them. The only person they could catch is Bellers, but they are able to land the Impale on J-Shifts, and J-Shifts does not have that much health. Cleanse used on a Fade, very well timed to prevent the pullback. But just a lot of poke going back and forth. 17-15 now over in the gems category. Team Happy Cloud were able to get a little bit of a turn in, but now Dope Monster and E-Bagatron going to turn in another 17. So that's 32 gems now turned in for the side of BoomerGaming. And J-Shifts gonna be just... clearing out this mid lane, taking some extra damage. And now Crispy and iFeed trading back and forth here. A little bit close, but I don't expect either of them to really be in a position to solo kill the other. But now E-Bagatron starting to get a bit low, and Burrow Charge going to go over top. And E-Bagatron just not enough HP, going to go down to the burn from the Gul'dan. And now J-Shift's also getting low, same with Bellers. And very well done. The Corruption able to deal so much damage. And just like that, they're going to get the turn in, and I believe they're going to spawn the Web Weavers. So that's going to be the first set of Web Weavers coming out. No level 10s yet, no talent advantage. Nyx is just going to road charge away. One of the main power points of that Anubarak is to have that unstoppable escape. So if the Maiev ever does connect the chain, it is very easy for them to back out. Now, the Drinking Bird is just trying to poke out with the Corruption over onto these walls, onto these cannon towers. And Nexus will get pulled back a little bit, will be fine. But the Concussive Blast will take E-Bagatron over onto the wrong side of the map. Bro Charge will get dodged. And now E-Bagatron just taking so much damage, and they're able to get the Fear. Drinking Bird now with the level 10s. Level 10s also a hit on BoomerGaming, but they were still able to get the kill first. Will be a stun. Riptire coming through over top. Going to land on 2, and Dope Monster is going to get hit in the back, but who's winning this fight now? J-Shifts able to get in through the fall, and look at all that stun going over on a Fade. Fade will be okay. Crispy also coming in through the side. J-Shifts, last strike's got to be used, and J-Shifts will go down. And I believe everything said and done, that was a 3-for-2 in favor of BoomerGaming. However, the Web Weavers were pushing in the mid lane during that, but as I say that, Fade also now caught. Going to go down. So one extra kill to the side of BoomerGaming. And they do have enough for a turn, and they're able to do it immediately. And iFeed, not going to waste any time, knows they have the map pressure. And the blue Web Weavers will now come back. So how much can they get off of this? They did lose their mid fort. when the red web weaver spawn. So it's really going to depend on this play. Now Nexus going to get stunned, is trying to run away. J Shifts waiting on the chains, but J Shift's patient about it. Lets the bro charge be used first. Cocoon gonna be utilized. Same with the containment disc, but both sides don't really seem to want to engage quite yet. Mind control though lands over onto the back. Ancestral healing coming out for Drinking Bird and able to pull back 3 as J Shifts, and now Beller's also taking so much damage over on the backside. It's incredible. No one goes down, but both sides able to land every single important ability, but at the same time, both sides are able to push back against it and zone away the follow-up. J Shifts takes so much damage to that corruption field, and now Dope Monster getting hit, starting to get very low, will get the invuln, and is just going to be able to walk away. The Uther ultimate coming out there. Sorry, the Divine Shield. But all the web weavers are now gone. Just this mid lane one left. No HP though. And they were not able to really get much out of it. Even the walls are still very healthy. Oh, but they are able to get the mind control. And just like that, they're able to get another pick. Containment disc utilized onto the Gul'dan. But Nexus trying to zone away and doing a fantastic job of it. Jet Propulsion going to be used onto Nexus, but has a shield, has the healer. Will be okay, but the fights are definitely going in favor of BoomerGaming as Crispy trying to sneak a turn in. And Beller's able to turn in 24 as well over onto that top side. Not enough gems for Team Happy Cloud if they do want to go for their second set. But however, BoomerGaming, if they're able to sneak it in, they do have enough gems for the second set of Web Weavers. Now Beller's going to be taking damage from that Corruption field. I believe that's what it's called. Just Corruption and Fell Flame, sorry. Trying to learn all these names. A lot of heroes. And 24 of Ivy going to turn in another 18, so just 13 more gems needed from BoomerGaming in order to be able to get this. And with Dope Monster and Bagatron, they should be able to finish this off. But Fade tries to cancel it and will be able to cancel it in time. A Hammer of Justice does come out for Bagatron, but not in time. And now both sides have enough to turn in. Crispy was able to sneak it in over to the bot side. 34 now turned in for the red side. And Dope Monster, it should be feeling safe and will be able to get this turn. So that's going to be another set of blue web weavers coming down right now for BoomerGaming. And can they get more value out of this one? Last time they were able to get the teamfight victory, but they were not able to really get the push going in. J Shifts trying to make a play in the forward. Not going to be able to. Beller's forced to walk down the other way, but will be okay. Now a little bit of shading over the bot side. Crispy versus iFeed. iFeed going to use the stim pack and dealing so much damage. And this is the post-nerf Blaze, by the way. Used to be even stronger, but Crispy able to deal so much damage back. Waviers are now spawned. J Shifts has a free push on the top side, but mid lane, that's where if any fighting is going to happen, it will happen here. And Corruption going to be used to finish off this Web Weaver. So the mid Web Weaver is gone. Top Web Weaver still alive, but already at half HP. And now Nexus is going to be here. Gonna miss the Cocoon, but they're able to get the Burrow Charge. And Containment Disc is utilized, but it is on the tank, so not quite as possible. Oh, the Mind Control goes slightly off to the side. Hammer of Justice trying to rain in, and they do get the Fear cleansed out. J-Shift, oh, so much damage from the Corruption, and will be burning down, but Bagatron does have the healing to come in time. And now they're going to get so much damage on the Bellers, and the last strike, but the Divine Shield coming out. Very good pickup against the Malthus, but now iFeed is going to be inside, but Drinking Bird also gets taken down. Ancestral Healing does not come out in time, and they're also on top of Nexus. Nexus has 3 trying to survive, and Crispy dealing damage over on the backline, but Crispy will go down, and Crispy will get the kill back. So it's still a 4-for-2, and now Crispy also will go down. Mind Control follow-up, and just so much crowd control on the side of BoomerGaming. So much chain CC, and that's the power when you have the Uther healer. No other healer is able to bring out so much crowd control over onto a single target. And with that, they still weren't able to take a fort. However, they do now have the pressure, and this top lane fort should go down. I don't think Fade will be able to protect it. And in fact, Fade does need to be a little bit careful. J-Shifts could pull it back, but will be okay. Now, anyway, in the mid lane, Beller's going to finish off this tower. Level 16 talents now being hit by Team Happy Cloud. as Dope Monster is finishing off this bot lane siege camp. So slight advantage now to BoomerGaming. Just one level still. But they also have the gem advantage. Both sides do have enough for turn-in, but this is one of those maps where once you start snowballing, once you're able to get the pressure in the lanes, it's so much harder to defend the turn-ins. And just like that, Blue Web Weaver is spawning once again. A little bit of fighting happening on the bot side. J-Shift's trying to get away. Beller's going to get zoned off by Nexus, but the zoning only comes in too late. The Web Weavers will spawn. It is one of the weaker objectives in terms of HOTS, but no doubt about that. But it is still an objective. It is still 3 bosses going down into each lane. The Bruiser Camp luckily forcing it to spawn a little bit further back, so it is going to be a little bit disconnected in terms of the timings, which does benefit Team Happy Cloud as they're able to deal with one at a time. Now they look like they want to defend this mid fort. The pullback already going to come through. The Black Arrows utilized. Mind Control goes slightly off to the side. And Riptire going to come through just for some damage. But the mid fort is gone. Bot fort taking a lot of damage, but Crispy leaving thinks we'll be able to protect it just using the fort. But however, the entire side of BoomerGaming does roam down as 5. And they will be able to finish this off. Now Bellers and J-Shifts kind of zoning away their rotation, trying to catch people out. Impale will land. And they don't see Crispy, but Crispy sees them. So all of this is happening on Vision. iFeed able to push out the wave. All the spiders are gone, but so are all the forts for the side of Team Happy Cloud. Bit by bit, BoomerGaming is able to start eking out these advantages. And like I say, this is a very snowballing map. You get a little bit of a lead, and it's so easy to maintain the pressure onto these turn-in points. And just like that, they're trying to force out this top side on Team Happy Cloud, but it's just going to take so long. They do have the same talent here, so they are able to fight if they want to, but doesn't look like they're interested quite yet. Bellers, however, is coming in through the side, looking for an angle, not really able to find anything quite yet. As iFeed decides not to turn in the 18 gems, will turn them in now. As both sides come back and just start fighting for these lanes. Bruiser Camp going to get taken down, and now the boss. Are they actually going to go for it, or are they just baiting it out? And right now it looks like they're seriously pushing to finish this off. Bellers is in this bush, just trying to scout it out. Half HP already. Nexus going to walk in. Containment Disc will cause the jet propulsion to miss, so the boss will get de-aggroed, and the bait for the fight does not end up working out. And in fact, it benefits Team Happy Cloud. They were able to take out the containment disc and kind of win a slight HP lead. And with that, Fade might be able to turn it in. They do have the stun, the fear, and mind control over onto Fade, but not going to be enough. Able to get the fear over from the gold down with the Horrify. And Crispy just dealing so much damage to Bellers. Look how low Bellers is getting just from the damage Crispy's dealing. Just being nearby, it's so difficult. And Fade going to be able to get the turn-in. And now the red Web Weavers will be spawning. Maybe they can get some of this advantage back. Level 20 almost hit on BoomerGaming, and this would have been their timing. But it will be a bit more difficult to fight into the Web Weavers. Not impossible. Containment Disc is on Nexus, and Bellers looks like he wants to go in. They do get the pull and the stun and the kill. The Nubrak is going to go down, but they're chasing for more. Crispy also getting caught. Concussive Mine going to be utilized. The Dope Monster is taking a decent amount of damage. Riptire going to be used then. In fact, will just get stunned and taken down. But the Web Weavers are still able to get a little bit of a push, and that's really going to prevent any kind of follow-up advantage from the side of BoomerGaming. So ultimately, these Web Weavers existed for one reason, and that was to prevent the level 20 from being lethal. Fade going to deal damage. They do have the bunker, so iFeed will be able to get away, but the bunker was still forced out. But now they're grouping with their entire team. Bellers will miss the Stormhammer. Dwarf Toss onto Drinking Bird. Not going to land anything else. Corruption just going to be dealing the extra poke damage over top. And they just need to hold out for a little bit longer. They're almost at those level 20s. But in the meanwhile, J-Shifts is going to be here. Mind Control goes slightly off to the side by Dope Monster. But such a low cooldown at this stage. And just so much damage trying to come out. Oh, the Corruption on Bellers. Almost half the HP. Will be healed up. It is damage over time, so. As Drinking Bird just continually throwing out the harass. And able to take Bellers down so low. The Fell Flame really dealing so much DPS. Black Arrow's not going to get utilized here, as this Bruiser Camp will go down, and now they're going to be doing their turn-ins. Dope Monster and J-Shifts and Bellers. I don't know if they have enough. iFeed is coming out with the help, but E-Begatron should be able to get the last little bit that is needed. And there it is, another set of Web Weavers for BoomerGaming, but level 20 is now hit by Team Happy Cloud, so they no longer have the talent disadvantage. They do have the lane disadvantage as Containment Disc goes wide. Very close attempt, but will not come through. Now a little bit of a lull. Just waiting for the Web Weavers to start spawning. And they're not really showing whether they're attacking mid or bot yet. And it is forcing them to split up a little bit. They are going to go bot. Black Arrow's gonna be utilized now. Riptire going through. Gonna land on a 3. And oh, not getting the reset. So they did go with the cannonball. So the basic attacks and the frag grenades are going to have the high range. The mind control lands, but it is on Nexus. Yeah, not the target you want. As iFeed and Beller's taking so much damage. This Gul'dan and this Malthil able to just keep them away, keep them zoned out. It is so hard to approach into them. And look at the damage Fade is able to apply over onto this Web Weaver. So they will lose the wall, but that's all they lose. They were able to keep all 3 of their keeps alive, and if they're able to get the pressure back, they only have 22 gems left on BoomerGaming. So their pressure lead, everything they had, has not really culminated into any keep kills. And this is the opportunity for Team Happy Cloud to try and regain some map pressure. The only real objective that's available for BoomerGaming is going to be that boss right now, but like I said, at this point in the game, Team Happy Cloud can definitely contest it. So both sides just going to be clearing everything out, clearing the camps. Everyone's playing it out a little bit slow. Bruiser Camp is now going to be pushing into this mid lane. And just in general, slight camp lead on the map right now for BoomerGaming. So Team Happy Cloud is going to have to clear those out. The siege camp over on the spot side. As the boss is getting started. Dope Monster and E-Begatron already on it. And they're looking to just hard DPS as Bellers is going to be waiting over in this bush. And they don't know what's happening, or they've decided they don't want to fight it. They're going to I think they do know it's on the boss. And their answer is going to be fight the boss with the Web Weavers. The boss is much stronger than an individual Web Weaver, though. So this will slow down the boss. This will be able to DPS the boss. But the most important aspect of these Web Weavers is that it's going to force the side of BoomerGaming to deal with it in the other lanes. However, this boss should still be able to get some pretty good value over on this top side. They're trying to DPS it down, and with all 5, they should be able to kill this boss very quickly. The stomp going to come out, and the keep is going to go down to about half HP, but that's going to be the end of it. But at the same time, these Web Weavers just not going to get too much value. Mid lane gone, bot lane gone, and the Web Weavers by Team Happy Cloud, second time in a row now, are used defensively. First time to defend against level 20, and this time used to defend against the boss. And now J-Shifts is going to get stunned by the Impale. Corruption not going to land. And both sides just starting to feel each other out. They still have a little bit of health on this boss. And Jet Propulsion lands on a 2. Ancestor Healing coming up, but the Horrify lands on a 3. And now Crispy trying to find someone. Riptire going to land on a 2. iFeed already at half HP. Going to get stunned. Crispy in the middle of everyone, but will get hit by the Hammer of Justice. Is cleansed out. And both sides just starting to get very low. The Rhaegar is currently in the containment disc. They're trying to zone away for it. And look at that. The last strike is going to get blocked by the Divine Shield. And Salidato is going to go down, and so is the Malthil. And now how much more can they get off of this? If they get a few more picks, and Beller's able to land the Stormhammer. And Drinking Bird also going to go down. It's a 3-0 in favor of BoomerGaming. And this could be their timing. The Malthil does respawn, has level 20 talent for the instant respawn. So it is going to be a little bit harder, but they do have the Black Arrows. So the keep definitely going down. But can they get more? Can they look to end the game? They have 40 seconds. J-Shift's going to get knocked in with the concussive mine, but will get zoned out, and in fact they're starting to get a little bit low. They could turn on to them. They do have the cleanse over onto Bellers, but Bellers does have to go away. J-Shifts is currently getting also poked down, but the bunker, the threat of that safety, is going to prevent any kind of follow-up. And they do lose a team fight pretty badly on the side of Team Happy Cloud, 3-0. But they only lose one keep forward so far. But Dope Monster is trying to run in, is tanking a lot of damage. Crispy and Fade have so much DPS that they can just land from a distance. And just look at that. Ify's starting to get so low. And J-Shift's over on the wrong side of the map. But unfortunately, Fade knocks J-Shifts into himself, and the mind control lands on the Nexus. The Nexus is also going to go down. Bruiser Camp is going to get stolen away. And just like that, they have the numbers advantage again. 5 on 4. The health still not looking super healthy for them, but without the tank, it is so hard for them to engage. They can try poking, they can try burning their HP from a distance, but that's really all they're going to be able to do. As Containment Disc lands, Delta is over on the back, dealing damage to Bellers. Bellers is just so tanky, and they were able to get a kill on the backside, and in fact, able to get 2. Crispy able to get 2 kills. And now Bellers, half HP with the Avatar already popped as Ify and Bagatron do run away. Little bit of an overextension from the side of Boomer Gaming. Well punished by Team Happy Cloud to keep this game alive. And Beller's going to turn in 11 gems. Most of the gems are currently on Bagatron with 36 for the side of Boomer Gaming. But there's almost no gems right now for the side of Team Happy Cloud. They're able to get the fight, but all they're really able to get back as a result so far is just being able to shove out these lanes, being able to start pressuring. And they agree. They want to get a bit more. Drinking Bird going to use the dot over onto this camp. Just finish off this fort. And one more corruption should be able to finish shot off. Or Crispy not going to be in range, so even this fort will remain alive. Drinking Bird, I really want this fort to go down. I don't know why it's bothering me. This is probably why I'm low elo. I would have definitely died for that fort. They are able to secure it. They're able to secure it safely. But the gems are being turned in. Bagatron, Ifeed, and Bellers. Bellers there just to support with the 1. It's more of the moral support coming out from Bellers over for this gem. But now they do have the Bruiser Camp shoving into mid lane. And it's really going to depend on who wins the next fight and what kind of objectives will there be available. Team Happy Cloud sometimes able to make these plays, but never have any follow-through available on the map for them. They were able to get the bot side fort, which will even out the wave pressure on that lane, but not able to get themselves any more of an advantage. Bagatron going to dodge the Impale and just being a huge nuisance, trying to cause as much chaos, prevent the turn-in. Oh, mind control slightly off to the side. We'll be back up in 10 seconds. So Dope Monster can continue fishing with it. Ify just trying to keep everyone dismounted right now. Oil Slick going to be utilized. And Ify is going to get hit over by the Impale, but bit too tanky of a target. And with the bunker, very difficult to go on to Ify. Now Fade is the one that has almost all of these gems. And the blue web weavers will be spawning. Dope Monster able to get the turn on the bot side. And just like that, they're going to be running backwards. They're getting into their base. They are ready to hunker down and just defend against yet another set of web weavers. Now, what can Boomer Gaming get off of this? With the web weavers spawned, if they're able to get a 1 fight, they could end the game here. So this could be a very big push for them if they're able to play their cards right. Now, web weavers now spawning. And look, it's spawning right in front of that keep. I believe the black arrows are still available for Dope Monster. If Dope Monster can reach, so hard to approach, will use the wave in order to get it. Riptire going through onto the backside will only be used onto the Web Weaver. The Web Weaver will go down shortly. However, so will this mid lane keep. They do not have the HP to defend against it. And they're able to get the knock up onto J-Shift. J-Shift is taking so much damage. Horrify over top. But unfortunately, not much else they can do with it. Bellers is going to get hit with the last rights, but does have the Avatar. And very good cleanse coming out. Crispy is still alive, dealing so much damage over to Ifeed. Ifeed, everyone is at a half HP over on the side, but Fade is the only one that is starting to get really low. 400 HP, and J-Shift's able to get the last hit, and Delta also goes down. Drinking Bird will be able to trade him back over onto the Maya. J-Shifts will go down, and everyone is just so low on both sides. Drinking Bird does have the corruption and will be able to get the next kill. They do lose all of their keeps. They do lose 70% of their core health, but they are still alive. They are still kicking. They may still be able to get one more fight. And what else can they get right now? it was a 2 for 2, so 3 for 3 currently available on the map. And the side of BoomerGaming, they're looking over onto this boss. They know they have a huge advantage when it comes to wave pressure. But it looks like Crispy, Drinking Bird, and Nexus, they're aware of this. They want to fight it. They have enough for a turn-in. Looking at the boss health, the boss is still quite healthy, so they can't try and start it themselves. 15 seconds until the Maiev spawns. And Crispy maybe getting caught out a bit. Stormhammer will go off to the side. Crispy trying to deal some DPS. Impale lands on a Bellers. And the mind control also going to land. Dope Monster is unstoppable right now, so we'll be able to just back away. But Bellers taking so much damage. They are getting hit, but it's just one cannon. Fade has now respawned, as so has Delta. So they will be able to just clear this out. And Crispy, or Drinking Bird will be able to get the gem turn in. Same with Crispy. Nexus, the last one. If Nexus is able to get this turned in, if Crispy will have enough pressure, but unfortunately they do not. They are not able to get their web weaver spawned. They really need something to help this wave start pushing out. 30-minute game. These two teams are just battling it out. Neither side wants to let the other one get this last teamfight victory. They'll win them the game. And BoomerGaming really only needs the one teamfight victory. The core's at 29%. They are going to start clearing out their camps. The Bruiser camp going to be taken out over in the mid lane. Siege camp slowly pushing over in the bot side. But the red web weavers will finally spawn. And this will be able to give them a little bit of pressure reprieve. Oh, but Nexus might be caught. Will cleanse out the Stormhammer with a Burrow charge. Very well timed by Nexus. Needed to not get stunned there. And now Crispy just trying to shove out these waves. And that's the advantage of these web weavers. But once again, they're used more to avoid pressure rather than to inflict pressure. However, now they're grouping as 5 and they're looking to start a fight. And Crispy dealing so much damage over in the backline. Bellard's going to get knocked up by Nexus. Impale as well. And they're just trying to zone it down. And Ivy forces out the Divine Shield by E-Bagatron. So that's a huge cooldown that's going to be down for the next 90 seconds. And they may be able to use this. They did not have to use any ultimates to get that out of them. And we've seen their range when they're defending, but now let's see the range on when they're on offense. Mind Control going to land over onto Nexus. Will just Burrow charge away. Ancestor Healing comes out. Might have been a little bit of miscommunication. Horrify was also used during that engage. They were able to get the wall, but they were not able to get anything else here. This web weaver will get cleared out. But they will be able to turn top and take away this fort. So, still, they're able to get something out of this. And this is what I wanted to see from them. They needed to get something out of these web weavers that wasn't just a defensive. And not only that, but they're grouping for the boss. It looks like they may try to start it on spawn. It has spawned. They're still waiting. Might just be baiting this out for a fight. And let's see if they're able to get anyone poked out. Dope Monster trying to sneak. Mind Control will land on the Nexus, but that's just going to be checking the bush. They're wise to the possible bait. Containment Disc lands over onto Crispy. Crispy is going to be okay. And now the damage starting to come back. Crispy dealing so much damage. J-Shifts has to run away. Cocoon lands onto iFeed. And now do they have any follow-up? iFeed going to respawn right away. And Riptire going out through the backline, but will be destroyed. And iFeed just so low, has to use the bunker. And the bunker already starting to go down. The Fell Flame over top, but Crispy is the one that's going to go down. But no, Crispy's just continually dealing damage, but will still end up getting finished off. Ivy able to get that kill, and now Bellers trying to chase on, does have the Stormhammer, but will be cleansed out. And Nexus is just running through the opposite side. What are they trying to do? Containment Disc lands onto the Gul'dan. Mind Control lands over onto Nexus as well, but they're still able to deal the damage. Last rights on E-Bagatron. The healer is gone for the side of BoomerGaming, and now they're trying to run away. Crispy able to get a kill, but one kill back by J-Shifts. Over onto this backline, very low, is dashing over, and Bellers is going to cover the escape. So what started as a pickoff for BoomerGaming ends up with a 2-for-1 in favor of BoomerGaming. And now Drinking Bird and Nexus, they're going to start onto this boss. It is going to be a little bit difficult. Their waves are pushed in. Fade cannot join them right away. They do have numbers advantage in theory over on the map, but they do not have the numbers advantage over at this fight. Bellers walking in, able to get the Stormhammer. Nexus very low. Bellers still taking a lot of damage. Gonna get stunned and just change the seed. Bellers has no HP. Ivy is currently in the cocoon. And iFeed will be respawning. Concussive Blast slightly mistimed, so will not be able to knock iFeed backwards. And J-Shift's taking so much damage, trying to get more DPS onto Nexus. Nexus will back up. Rhaegar will be spawning in 10 seconds. Both healers now going to be respawning. So a lot of action happening on both sides of this map. Both of these teams are able to bring out so much detail. It's like every small mistake is being punished, and every small outplay is needed just to stay in this game. And even BoomerGaming, they surely must be feeling the pressure. This is a 33-minute game of HOTS. I don't know how long the longest game of HOTS was this season for NGS. I'm very curious to see, because this has got to rank up there. But now, all 5 grouping up. The Bruiser Camp just got taken down, so they know they do have a little bit of timing. We're there in the advantage here. They're going to start over onto this boss, but oh, are they going to try to backdoor this? No, they're just going to be stealing the Bruiser Camp. So this boss will go down, but this is definitely an opportunity if they knew they could backdoor. But they do have to reset immediately. Drinking Bird already back. Everyone else is hearthing. Just going to use this boss as pressure. It's still a long ways away before either of these two teams can get the Web Weaver spawning, so we'll see how much pressure they can get with this. It is a 33-minute boss, so this boss is tanky and is strong. If they're able to keep baiting out the stomp attacks, they will be able to kind of delay this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and the stomp to finish off the cannon tower. So they should be able to finish off the wall. But now they have the Riptide going over top. The boss is at a quarter health, but a quarter health is still a lot. Riptide lands onto Begatron and J-Shift. Beller's over the back line, trying to get some DPS. It is a 4v5 right now. Crispy is in the base. Horrify lands onto everyone. And Bellers now forces out the Avatar. Still at half HP, is being healed. Begatron going to get cocooned. Containment Disc lands over onto the Ghoul down, and that's one of your main DPS sources. Currently silenced as well, and will get pulled back, and this is definitely the opportunity for BoomerGaming. They're trying to chase. Crispy is here now, but only got here too late. The boss, how much health? Oh, sorry, not enough health. So the boss is just going to go down, not even going to break through the shield. But look at the damage coming from Crispy. And the last red's going to hit onto Bellers, currently trying to hide, and Drinking Bird trying to survive just off the life drain, and will be able to eye feed. About a quarter HP, about no HP. Gonna get the shield out. And in the backside, J-Shift's able to get the ghoul down. Crispy trying to make as many plays as possible. Does have the cleanse, but will also go down. Containment Disc onto the backside. Delta has no HP. Fate also going to go down. But Crispy has respawned. Like I said, everyone's low. Crispy is available. 20 seconds until the last rise. Trying to get as much DPS from the backside. It is a 1v5, but I think the game's over. Crispy is dead. The wave's already here. And game number 1, a 35-minute slugfest, is going to be picked up by BoomerGaming. As we try to finish this off, Nexus will be here, but it is too little too late. As the core does get finished off, and what a way to start this series. I'm a bit lost for words there. That was such an incredible game. Crispy, 173,000 damage. I gotta say, Begatron on that Uther. I'm trying to think who to give the MVP to, but it's just so difficult. Because even though they lost, I feel like Crispy kept them in the game for so long. But at the same time, Begatron, the Divine Shields were perfect that game. The Cleanses were perfect that game. Just always at the right place at the right time, able to get the pickoffs. I don't think I can really give it to anyone here, but what I do know is I want to see this kind of gameplay going into game number 2. Don't go anywhere. We are going to go on a short break, but when we're back, we will be here, and there will be at least one more game today. And we are back for game number 2 of this series between BoomerGaming and Team Happy Cloud. Battlefield of Eternity going to be the second map. And this is another map that has a lot to fight over. These immortals are very powerful, and the way this map is laid out, it heavily incentivizes team fighting. And both of these teams have shown they are not scared of team fight, and they are going to brawl as much as they can. And I gotta say, these are the kind of teams I love casting. Just non-stop action. It does get a little bit difficult sometimes, just because of the sheer pacing. I had to even ask the teams to wait a couple of minutes, let me get my voice back a little bit, get some tea in there. But I'm ready for game number 2, and I hope everyone here is ready as well. Chromie and Diablo going to be the first two bans coming out from these sides. So far, nothing really different. I'm wondering if the Melthiel is still going to be allowed this game, because the amount of damage that Crispy was able to get is just insane. Was almost double the second place DPS, which I believe was Drinking Bird over on the side of Team Happy Cloud as well. But just the sheer amount of HP and the healing and the self-heal even from the Muradin was so high. The BoomerGaming were still able to come out on top from all of those fights. Now, Hanzo and Medivh both also going to get banned out. We have the first pick coming through, and it's going to be the Li Ming, one of the best heroes on this map, just due to the amount of damage it can bring out to these immortals. And whether or not they're going to build more of a racing comp, or if they're going to do a 1-4, where you have the 1 trying to kill the immortal, and the 4 just kind of playing around to the outside, zoning away, or trying to disrupt Team Happy Cloud, we will have to see. As Uther and Thrall locked in for Team Happy Cloud. Two pretty solid frontliners. No true tanks yet, but still, I really enjoy this pick. Thrall, not quite, not one of the kind of offlaners that you would use in order to start racing for the Immortals, but very good in a fight and incredible at being able to zone away the offense from the opposite side. As we see the Garrosh and the Rhaegar coming out from BoomerGaming, trying to get as many of those orcs over on this game. Garrosh, Thrall, Rhaegar, let's go. We got them all. But now, going into this next set of bans. So, they are still missing an offlaner, and while I normally wouldn't say Artanis is a good pick, I think if you have a Garrosh who is kind of a lower HP tank, the Artanis wouldn't be a bad ban for Team Happy Cloud. Because for BoomerGaming, I think it wouldn't be the worst pick. They do decide to ban the Blaze from iFeed instead. iFeed showing us that Blaze is still a very good hero. Able to just stay over on the front line for so long. Able to deal so much damage. Almost 1v1 Crispy a couple of times during the laning phases. And the Bunker remains to be a very powerful ultimate. And Vala going to be the other ban from BoomerGaming. Definitely a little bit less prioritized now. Post nerfs, I believe. So I do expect to see less Vala, but I still think just because she's kind of a jack of all trades carry, I do expect to still see Vala in some of these games. Just not this one, as we'll get banned out. Now, what do they still need? They still need a true DPS. I think you need at least one for Team Happy Cloud, someone to be able to race. And they're going to kind of run it back. They're going to have Melthiel picked up by Crispy and Anubrak again for Nexus. And I think both of them played their heroes really well. Like, I say that as if someone played their heroes poorly last game. If it's a almost 40-minute game, no one is playing poorly. Everyone is playing so well that it just becomes hard to get that little bit of advantage to end the game. So they still don't really have anyone that's able to race for the Immortal. Crispy is going to be able to deal a lot of damage. I see the Maiev and the Sonya, so definitely seems like it's going to be the 1-4 strategy coming out from BoomerGaming. Dope Monster's job is mostly going to be to race, while the other 4 are there to fight. And Dope Monster will be able to join on to these fights too. With the teleport, it's quite quick to move around the map with Li Ming. But I want to see something here that can fight kind of like the Greymane, though it's a bit bad into Garrosh. But I want a true DPS here. And Tracer. So definitely not going to be aiming for the race at all. And I don't know why I didn't consider it, but Team Happy Cloud, they're all inning for these fights. Tracer is just going to be trying to chase down Dope Monster, and I want to see this 1v1. I want to see Drinking Bird and Dope Monster trying to fight to see who's going to be the one to take this game number 2. Oh, yeah, I don't favor either draft. Let's just get into this game. Let's get into this game right now. All right, and we are on to the battlefields of eternity. Group of 4 currently moving over to the bot side. As expected, iFeed going to be the offlaner on that Sonya, matching Crispy's Melthil. I'll be honest, I don't know offlane matchups too well. Maybe that's something I can start researching more during the off-season. But I do believe it is Sonya favored. Just take that with a grain of salt, a grain of rice, maybe a full salt shaker too. But now it's going to be 4 meeting over on this bot side, and both soul laners going to meet up top. And it is going to be a little bit interesting. Dope Monster definitely has a range advantage. Everyone is very short range on the side of Team Happy Cloud. They really want to move into the game. They really want to move as close as possible towards BoomerGaming. That's the only way they can really fight. And that is going to be a little bit of a disadvantage for them. However, if they're able to get on top, they should be able to deal a lot of DPS. Especially if Drinking Bird's able to catch on to Dope Monster, it could become very problematic for BoomerGaming. They're going to get the first push when you have the range advantage, when you have, just in general, when you pick the Li Ming. It's very easy to get pushes as Fade going to get knocked back, and double knockup coming out from Nexus. Begatron kind of getting stuck into the wall, but the Earth Shatter onto Fade, and now J-Shift's also tossed back with the Wrecking Ball, and will get the first blood, and in fact, we'll get 2. A second kill for Dope Monster, as 2 for nothing for BoomerGaming early on. And J-Shift's able to get another pull, but will have the burrow charge to go back. And both sides are very low. Crispy just trying to damage out iFeed. And they're just going to reset. They got the 2 kills. Not going to choose to go for the siege camp, as you normally see upon a team fight victory in this bot side, as Crispy will be trying to take out this top tower. Or sorry, this top siege camp. And Fade is going to come by just to make sure they're able to secure it. And just as they group up as 3 for it, it is already gone. Team Happy Cloud read that play. But Crispy going to get knocked back. And Crispy going to get pulled even further. And that's going to be another kill going over for BoomerGaming. But they're going to lose this camp for it, so it is going to get traded away. But that is still yet another kill in favor of BoomerGaming. And they look like they want to contest this a little bit. It is just Begatron and Dope Monster, so not really going to be able to do too much. This will go over as Fade also starting to get pulled back. Has the root, dealing a lot of damage, but J-Shift's will be able to just hop away, and that's 4th kill. 4-0 now for BoomerGaming, and this is starting to get very bad for Team Happy Cloud. There's no real way to go around that. It's only a half-level lead because they were able to get all those camps. They're still able to get all the soak, but mentally it's also just never good when you're getting picked off. Even if you are able to trade it, it never feels good having to wait for that respawn timer. But these are high-level players from both of these teams. How much can BoomerGaming get with this if they do have that morale boost with the Immortals spawning in 10 seconds? No talent advantage for either of these teams. And in fact, I believe level 5 is going to get matched shortly. So not even a slight stat boost, as Fade is waiting and will take that Bruiser camp now. Now the Immortals have spawned, and iFeed already on top of the blue one. But Begatron with a Pulse Bomb coming out from Drinking Bird. And this is where the Tracer starts coming out to shine. This is where the Team Happy Cloud draft should be working. And just like that, they're able to get so much damage onto J-Shift. Just needs a little bit of healing, and the chain healing will come out from Begatron just in time, as iFeed was just going down onto this Immortal, just able to take it down to about 3/4 HP. So not the biggest difference, but still enough, as Fade trying to trade it back. And Drinking Bird also going to be here, gets knocked back, but luckily saved by the Immortal stun to prevent the Earth Shatter. Very lucky by Drinking Bird. But both sides are now starting to DPS, but they do have slightly more DPS over on the side of Team Happy Cloud. Only the Sonya on the top side, but iFeed not going to get zoned away. We'll be able to just full DPS onto this Immortal. And halftime is going to come through, only about a 2.5k health lead. Nexus is going to get thrown into the backside, but Nexus also wants to go in, and just like that, they're able to get all on top of Bellers. Bellers is starting to get stuck. They do have the Pulse Bomb, but just so low damage, but Drinking Bird able to get it in the end. And just like that, they're able to get the pick. They're able to zone away, and it gets so much harder for them to play. Dope Monster has very good positioning. Will be able to keep tossing these orbs over the wall. Drinking Bird is going to be DPSing over on the backside, so they're just trying to zone away. But it is so hard to zone against a Li Ming. Li Ming just deals so much damage, even if you block it. However, Drinking Bird now catching up. They do have the Pulse Bomb going through, and they may start to do the real race right now. Both sides just going to hard DPS as much as possible. It's going to be close, but it looks like BoomerGaming will be able to finish it off. 1.4k shield, so the shield will go down very quickly. It is not a very healthy Immortal, but BoomerGaming are able to secure it just from those victories in the early game. And the Earth Shatter on it too, and they're able to throw Fade into the back. Drinking Bird going to recall back. So will be okay. But that's still a lot of damage dealt. And the Immortal still has the shield just because they're not able to walk up. They're so short range. They needed to be in that melee form. Now Drinking Bird able to get some DPS out. Earth Shatter going to land on Drinking Bird. As the damage is coming through, the orbs and the magic missiles just constantly being spammed out by Dope Monster off cooldown. Just onto whoever is near this fort. And typically, when you have that first Immortal, you're happy just to take the wall. But they almost got the entire fort. The fort just sitting on 700 HP, not even 650. Crispy starting onto this top siege camp, but it's still 4v4 as Nyx is going to get tossed back. Impale on it too. Beller's going to deal some DPS. The pullback from J-Shift, very well played. Pulse Bomb lands on it too. Not that strong yet. As Ebaxtron also goes down to half HP, and the Burrow Charge will get on it too. The Cleanse comes out to prevent any crowd control follow-up. But that's 5 members up there for Team Happy Cloud. And iFeed able to finish off the wall on the spot side, able to get a little bit of damage over onto this fort. Crispy is going to be roaming down. We see it on the mini-map as BoomerGaming will finish off this top lane siege camp. So another slight victory for them. Currently working their way over to that level 10. And Bellers is going to be getting poked down a little bit. J-Shift comes back. Last recall used. Or sorry, just recall going to be used by Drinking Bird. As Nexus is forced to tap, and they will be able to finish off that top lane forward. And this game so far definitely looking a lot cleaner from BoomerGaming. Team Happy Cloud still trying to fight. They're still making it close. But BoomerGaming are able to edge out in these fights very well. They're constantly able to just get that little bit of advantage that's needed. J-Shift going to try to catch on to Crispy. Will get the pullback. A Wrecking Ball not going to be in range. Same with the Earth Shatter. Just a little bit of distance needed. But Crispy very fast on the smell field. And it looks like they're not even going to try to defend this bot lane fort. The armor is going to be lowered by iFeed, but Crispy is going to get taunted and just exploded on the backside. Level 10s are here on the BoomerGaming. J-Shift's going to get hit by the Hammer of Justice, but that's another kill just as the Immortals spawn. The timing of it could not be worse for Team Happy Cloud. They did hit their level 10, so they're not at a disadvantage in that regard, but it is still going to be difficult for them. Drinking Bird trying to get some damage on, and Nexus gets down to half HP. So much DPS, but they're fighting over top of the Immortal. The Immortal's helping out so much. Beller's 100 HP, 70 HP, going to get down. And now iFeed spinning to winning in the middle of everyone. And iFeed still starting to go down. They're able to get the Hammer of Justice, cancel the spin. No more healing. Pulse Bomb over top. Just needs a little bit more damage, but Drinking Bird not able to get the distance. A Burrow Charge going to be going over on top, and so many low health bars, so many low mana bars on BoomerGaming, but they're not able to finish off these kills on Team Happy Cloud. They are, however, able to utilize this pressure. They are going to win the halfway race for this Immortal, but they're so low HP. The side of BoomerGaming has healed. They're going to be coming back. And where is the spawn going to be? Who will it favor? Oh, and it is a good spawn for them, but they just don't have the damage. They don't have the health bars. But when you have the Li Ming, it's so difficult to go against it. A Dope Monster will be forced to cancel the ultimate. And once again, the Immortals, despite the fight going in favor of Team Happy Cloud, will be going over to BoomerGaming. They were able to get this top wall. They had the Bruiser Camp shoving out the top wave the entire time the Immortal fight was happening. So that is a little bit of an advantage back for Team Happy Cloud, but it's going to be so hard to defend this. They do not have the long range needed to poke down even just this 2,000 health shield. Beller's also just going to be standing on this front line, trying to keep as much pressure up to prevent them from walking up to the orbs going to be used. J-Shift's looking for the poke. We'll get the containment disc over onto the Thrall, but gonna force out the Ancestral Healing of the Cocoon. But they will be okay. They're going to respawn. They're all pretty healthy. As this Immortal is starting to get burnt down. Half HP, a little bit less even. Crispy and Drinking Bird, now that it's in melee form, now they can dish out a decent amount of damage. However, that is still going to be their top lane wall destroyed by BoomerGaming and their Immortal. Dope Monster just using the ultimate, using that Disintegrate to clear out the siege camp. Gonna be resetting anyway, no mana left, so. In the meanwhile, iFeed gonna be grouping onto this bot side siege camp. Just gonna spin over top, and one thing I do want to mention, it is Wrath of the Berserker, so there is no leap over onto iFeed. It does not feel like they need the extra engage, the extra crowd control, but does want the extra stats and extra DPS. As Beller's going to Wrecking Ball back at Nexus, but not the target you want, able to just burrow strike away, or burrow charge away. Delta trying to catch onto those orbs. As iFeed goes in, actually, I'm a little bit surprised about that. Not going to take as much damage back as I thought it would. So, knows the limits, playing within them. And now they're just going to power through this bot lane wall. Not much that they can do on the side of Team Happy Cat. They're able to get the taunt over onto Drinking Bird. However, the Tremor is going to be used. The Sundering is going to be used to prevent the follow-up onto Drinking Bird. Going to save the DPS there, but the wall is not going to be saved. The wall is going to be taken down. Level 14. Level 13 talents now going to be matched once this wave is down. Delta will be able to finish it off. And now they're going to go for the Bruiser Camp. But this time the Bruiser Camps will be matched, so BoomerGaming will be able to get their own. They still definitely got the winning trade since they got the Immortal. But this time they're not going to be losing even on this camp trade either. And the camp is spawning over on each team's side. So it's just going to be a straight DPS race. But Team Happy Cloud always losing that. Groundbreaker going to be utilized. Burrow Strike over onto 2. And they're jumping through. They do have the Cocoon over onto Beller's. Beller's going to be stunned. But IP taking so much damage. But look at that damage going through onto Drinking Bird. It has to use the recall. Is unkillable and barely able to get away. The Divine Shield keeping Drinking Bird alive. And now J-Shift's in a very interesting spot. Able to pull back too. Nexus will be able to escape, but that's still a huge HP lead going over for the side of BoomerGaming. They are fighting these team fights so well. They know they can play it safe. They just need to kite back. And once it gets down over to the racing portion, it's not even close. The side of BoomerGaming wins it heavily. And the drafting issues are starting to come through as the containment disc lands over onto Nexus. Nexus is going to get silenced. Is going to get pulled back into the wall, but they are able to get to Fisher. Now Begatron is in the middle, hitting onto Nexus, and Drinking Bird able to get a decent amount of damage back. Begatron gonna be saved by Bellers. As Crispy trying to push out the DPS, the Immortal is done. And now Crispy going to get finished off by the Disintegrator. Just the entire team over top onto Crispy is able to deal so much damage. Oh, look at that, Disintegrate just used to damage this mid lane wall. They have the Immortal coming to the bot side. They have the 5v... Well, it's going to be a 5v4. Nexus will be back in time for when this Immortal gets to the keep. But level 16 talents also ahead. As a containment disc lands again. And the Groundbreaker not going to land in time. J-Shift trying to pull away 2. And we'll be able to pull 2 back and the Disintegrate over top. Dope Monster able to deal so much damage. Drinking Bird trying to get into the backline. Not going to land. The Pulse Bomb will be an unkillable mode. But it has been close so far. They were able to get a kill. And this Immortal is healthy. They have the level 16 advantage. If they're able to, this could even be an opportunity for them to try and push further in. And yeah, they still have half the shield. It is at 100%. They're able to push in right now as much as possible. They're able to get the pullback, and they were able to kill onto the Thrall. They were able to get it back onto Bellers. Bellers also goes down in the meanwhile. They do have the containment disc over onto Crispy. And now Dope Monster dealing so much damage over the backside. And Crispy, 45 HP. Run, Crispy, run! Invulnerable as well. And the knockup. So Crispy will survive. But you know what's not surviving right now? Their core. Their core is at 40%, 35%, 20%. They do lose Drinking Bird in the backside. And that's going to be game domination coming out from BoomerGaming as they're looking to push for that first place going into playoffs. And definitely much less close in this game too. I do believe that BoomerGaming just kind of outdrafted Team Happy Cloud. And with that, they were just able to continuously push in. They did not have the range on Team Happy Cloud to win those fights. And they needed to force them so hard. And BoomerGaming was able to understand that. And they just kited back. They knew they would win the race. They knew just that as long as they just didn't die, they could just kite backwards and then move forward as soon as a member of Team Happy Cloud goes back to hit onto the Immortal. Well played by both teams, still showing their skill. The mechanical prowess coming out from just both of these rosters has been incredible to watch. This has been an absolute pleasure for me to cast. But don't go anywhere before we end the stream. I will be finding someone to raid. I believe there is more NGS action happening right now. And while I search, I would also like to have a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, AFK Journey. If you want to help support me, download AFK Journey for free today, link in the chat, or you can do as Double Nailix did and subscribed with Prime. Thank you very much, Double Nailix or Neelix. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I have also hydrated for you. So give me one moment. I will find the raid and I will send you on your way to another amazing NGS cast. Let me see who is available right now. Let us go to Raka's stream. Well, thank you very much, and I hope you all have a great night. See you all tomorrow.